G'day. So I got Memphis out here. We're just going to get straight into our ridden work with him today. He had his first day back in the program yesterday for his second 2-week stint. And he did really well. We made some nice advancements, taught him a couple of new things, started working on some new stuff. So he's showing me he's ready to really carry on, and so we had no reactivity or anything like that in his groundwork. He seems comfortable in himself. He wants to walk off there or use his hindquarter. He has started getting a little bit looky, and wanting to engage with other stuff that's going on outside the arena. You know, the other horses in paddocks around us and that type of thing. And just to add to that, today we've got cows that have come up the laneway right next to the arena. And he's not really been close to cows yet, so that might add an interesting extra little element in it for us. But all good learning for him. Alright, matey. So we get in the saddle and we do our lateral flexion first before anything else. Check on that. With these young horses, I always check on the foundational basics before I do anything else, and that teaches them to wait for me when we get in the saddle, so that they don't turn into horses that want to wander off. You're at a hindquarter. There, you got a little bit reactive to that, so I'll work on this a little bit before we go anywhere. That's better. He wanted to walk forward first, those first couple of sort of efforts he made at it, so I'll wait for him to plant those front feet. Yeah, better. Good. Like that, I want him to plant those front feet and just yield that hindquarter. Good. So he's showing me he's a little bit reactive to the spur today, which he hasn't been before. So when that's better, he's not made me use it. Good. But then he stopped his feet before I took the pressure off. So I'm going to turn that spur in. And I'm going to use it. So he needs to get the idea that he doesn't stop his feet until the pressure goes away. That's better. Good. 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 Alright, we'll take him off for a walk here now. And we'll do a little bit of bending at the walk. He wants to go straight over and look at the cows, but I'm going to ask him to keep his attention on me. That's nice and soft there, good. I'll pick up a rein. He bends around that leg, he keeps his forward motion nice for me, he's not trying to stop his feet. Feet are following his nose, bend through his body. I like that a lot. I won't do too much of this, because he's showing me that he's real good at it. So we'll go straight into bending at the trot. Good boy. He's wanting to stick his head in the air there. But I like how he comes into that bend and he drops into the bridle around the corner there. That's real nice. So I'm just waiting for him to break at the wither. break at the pole, preferably both, but one of the two. I just want him to drop into that bridle a little bit, show me that he's looking to do that. Good. I'm just going to, when I'm asking for this bend, I'm just picking up a rein. I might use a little bit of inside leg just to encourage him to soften in the rib cage and bend. He doesn't really need it. He's pretty good at that without using the leg. If he wants to stop his feet, he stopped his feet there a little bit, sort of half halted. If he does that, I'll give him a squeeze, push him back into the bridle, back into that trot. I'm going to let him travel for little patches here. And pick up a rein. I'm going to work on. He's a little bit stiffer on the right rein. A little bit less inclined to drop into the bridle on the right rein. Going to work on that a little bit more. Good. That's nice there. Nice, real nice there. Good. So I'm not necessarily going to hold that bend around a 360-degree circle. But I might. See, he got resistant there on that right rein. When he gets resistant, I'll definitely hold him there. But if he gives to that and bends around that corner and drops into that bridle straight away like he did there, I'll release that. I won't make him hold on to that bend any longer, because I want to really reward him for that ideal response. And woo. If he doesn't respond after the second opportunity to pull up to the seat, I'll pick up a rein and do a one rein stop. I'm not picking up two reins asking him to stop just yet. Two reins is break at the wither and the pole, and then back up a couple steps. I can't emphasise enough how important it is to get your horses vertically soft and backing up softly. Good. Well, this is only ride number 14 for him, and he's already getting that really, really nice and soft. I'm really, really pleased with that. Got a little bit resistant there, so I'll give him a little bump. Yeah, he's going to be a bit resistant there again. Bump, bump, bump. And when I throw the rein back to him, I don't mind that he hangs out there a bit, but I want him to get the idea that when I throw the rein back to him, he needs to go back to neutral. That's why I really emphasise giving that rein back. Alright. So we're going to some clover leaf for the trot with him. So this exercise is all about straight lines, soft corners, and I want to really work on getting him stretched down over his top line. on 2 reins and give him a squeeze there. That's nice there. He's wanting to sort of swing his head around a little bit, trying to find different ways. When I pick up pressure, he's trying to find different ways off it. Pushing on my right leg there, I'll get him off that. Really pushed hard on it there. So I overemphasise that a little bit. I don't like doing that. But if they really push hard against it, when I put that leg on, and even touch them with the spur, then I'll roll that spur on the rib. Tell them, no, that's not the thing to do. We don't want to push on pressure. We want to yield to pressure. Yeah. So we'll just keep working our cloverleaf here. We're in a straight line. I'm going to pick up on 2 reins. Ask him to hold that for a few seconds. Release it. And we'll come around a corner. Come around that corner. So he's already carrying himself a little lower. Now I've started working on this. So we come through the middle. I'll pick up 2 reins. This is our long straight. Squeeze him. Squeeze him. Good. So the long straights through the middle of the cloverleaf I'm going to use for working on his vertical softness, and the corners obviously are for his lateral softness. So what I'm going to do, if I find resistance in a corner, I'm going to hold him in that corner. At the moment I'm not finding any resistance in these corners at all. It's really nice. He's really bending nicely through them. He's light on my hand. He's not even really taking the slack out of the rein. When I ask for him to turn those corners, pushing on my left leg there a little, push him off that, really emphasise that. He didn't want to respond to it straight away. Squeeze and pick up on 2 reins. Good. I'm going to switch reins now. We'll take him around to the left. What I do with this exercise is I wait for them. I try to wait for them to choose an opposite rein. So if I'm coming to the end of a straight and they want to choose to go left or right, I'll pick up and choose the opposite. But so far he's really waiting on me, which is good. Nice. So we'll take him around to the left here. He's real nice and soft. He's even softer on this left rein here. He's bending a lot nicer. Might tell us that there might be something starting to develop there for him the other side. Might be needing a bit more body work. And that long straight. Just get him to work there with his pole below his wither. Love the way he bends around that left hand. He pushed on my left leg there a little bit, but he come off that real nice. Just wanted to stop his feet there a little, get a bit stuck. Love how he's travelling there. And I really like this cadence He's just got a real nice relaxed cadence. He's not thinking about running off or anything like that. Love the way he's travelling there. For 14 rides, I'm very, very pleased with this kid. I'm going to bring him into the middle, give him a little bit of a rest there. And woo. Good. And he's stopping to that seat nicely there. Pick up on him, back him up a few steps. Good, wait for him to soften, pole below his wither, good. So, we worked on cloverleaf at the trot. I did some lope with him yesterday, and he was a little bit forward. It should have shown me he was a little bit keen to run off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working on cloverleaf at the canter, and the reason for that simply is that I think it's the best way to get a horse who wants to be a bit forward to slow down, and it's a necessary part of getting them soft in that gait as well. When you increase speed, you increase resistance, you increase stiffness, you increase tension, and a horse is going to be more prone to pulling on your rein, pushing on your legs, that type of thing. And teaching them, getting them good at this exercise, gets them to be good on straight lines, soft in corners, and gets them collected, gets them under himself, gets them balanced, because they've got the straight line, and then they've got to deal with a corner, and then a straight line and deal with a corner, and a straight line and deal with a corner, and it seems to work really well to get them gathered up and balanced. All right, I'll walk him off. Good. So it doesn't matter what lead he's on. He's on his left lead at the moment. That's all right. I'll take him around to the left. As long as he's not looking to go left, I'll take him around to the left. Now he's looking to go left, so I'll pick up the right. And I'll let him make the mistake. When he drops his stride, I'll pick up or squeeze him back into that canter. Again, I'm not cueing a lead. I'm not asking for a particular lead. I don't care what lead he's on. So he's not looking to go one way or another there, so I'll take him back to the left and help him to get comfortable and on the correct leads, more comfortable for him. So I'll help him to do that when he lets me. He's travelling pretty nice here at the moment. He's blowing out these corners a little. That's all right. I'm not going to release until his feet are following his nose. So you wanted to drop the stride there, drop to a canter, drop to a trot. Just drive him back into that canter. You can see he's quite soft here. Just needs to learn to hold that gait. I will work on this on the opposite lead as well, which is more about balancing things for him, teaching him to do it. pushing on my left leg. Get him off that leg. Good, that's better. He's pushing on my left leg. I'm really going to emphasise, get off my leg, get off my leg, get off my leg. He's wanting to run off a little bit there. Just steer him back into the middle. Bit of right leg there, get him off that leg, get him around that corner. He needs to understand, when I touch him with a leg, it doesn't mean come back to a trot, which is what he's doing at the moment. It means get off that leg. You're pushing on me, stop pushing on me. There, he's pushing on my right leg. I'm going to counter him around a circle here and make it a bit uncomfortable for him. Because he's really pushing on me in this corner. So I'm going to make him work here on the wrong lead, make it uncomfortable. I'm not going to release him until he's soft and his feet are following his nose and he's holding that gait. Nice lead change. Good kid. Good. Then move. Good. Good kid. Well done. He's wanting to get a little bit resistant there when I picked up that right rein. Good. I'm going to let him get his wind back a little bit there. So we've done a fair bit of work there. I'll let him get some wind and think about things. I'm just going to reposition this camera so we can get a better view of working on some lateral stuff. Getting him coming off our legs. He was showing there that he wanted to be a little bit resistant to my legs. Wanted to push on me a little bit. So the next thing I'm going to work on is getting him to side pass off a leg. We've worked on that on the ground and he's shown us he's pretty good with it. And we worked on it a bit under saddle yesterday, and again he showed us he's pretty good with it. So I'm going to go straight into working on that now. Oh, you are a tall bugger. Alright, so when I'm teaching the side pass, we saw a bit of it yesterday. I'm going to walk forwards here. So we saw a little bit of it yesterday. When I'm teaching the side pass, I like to use a fence to help me out. So I walk him down the fence here. I'm going to pick up my left rein, turn him into the fence, and then use my left leg. Add the left leg there. Open gate, close gate. Good. So I open the gate with my right leg and with my right rein to give him some guidance. And we'll walk him out of that. Now I open my right rein up, open my right leg up, just to sort of overemphasise, that's the way I want you to go. And from there, I add the left leg. Add the left leg. If he wants to turn his head to the right, I'll block with that left rein. I just had to do that then. Good. He's real good at that. That's not bad for a second go. It's got a little bit resistant there on that rein. So just give him a little bump, little bump, little bump. Pick up on both reins, give him a squeeze. He's getting a bit squirrely about backing up here. I just want him to back up nice for me and then I'll release it. Good, that's a bit better. He's getting a little bit squirrely going left and right there. So I just want him to back a couple of steps nice for me, nice and straight. And we'll give him a rest there. Walk him forwards, back into the fence. He's wanting to resist that rein there. I was picking up that left rein. And he's wanting to pull on it. I'll give it a bump, put a bend in him. And I'll send him down the fence. We'll turn him into the fence here. Open that left-hand gate. Push with the right. Good. Good. He's lagging a little bit with that hip. I'll shift that foot back a little, push his hip over. Good. Nice. Real nice. He's getting a little bit resistant on those single reins when I'm asking him to flex. That's all right. These are little baby horse things. We're going to have these little arguments. I'll walk him out of that. And again, turn him into the fence. Add that right leg. Open the left-hand gate. Good. Nice. He's getting better that way. Yesterday he was a lot more sort of sticky this way, sort of stepping on himself and a little bit more uncoordinated, but today's much better. So I'll pick up on two reins, get him drop into that bridle there. There, give him a little squeeze now, back him up. He's getting a little bit squirrely. Just going to flap those calves when he wants to stop his feet. I haven't asked him to stop his feet. Because I had a little bit of a fight there, as soon as he does what I'm looking for, I'll give him a release. So this is where, he's going to look for different options. He's not going to do the right thing all the time, even if he might do it the first time. And it works to give him a release. See, now he's wanting to side pass. So even if I get him, I put a cue on, and he does the exact right thing the first time, and he gets the release, he's not necessarily going to pick it up and learn from that. You know, it can take thousands of repetitions to make these things muscle memory. So with these young horses, you can expect that you're going to end up going through some battles. You're going to end up going through some ugly stuff, even though you might get it perfect the first time, and the second time, the third time, they might go, hang on a minute, maybe there's another way I can do this. Maybe there's an easier way for me. Especially with things like backing up and side passing, you know, it uses a lot of muscles. And horses are, by nature, lazy creatures. They like to conserve energy. They like to do things the easiest possible way. I'll pick up a left rein, turn him into the fence, put that left leg on. And his hips lagging behind a little bit, slide that foot back a bit further. Again, his hips lagging behind there. Good. Good man. Well done. Alright, last thing I want to work on with him, which is what we finished up with yesterday. We started working on yielding a shoulder, yielding a forequarter off a leg under saddle. So I'm going to start working. I'm going to work on that a little bit more now. So the way I'm going to work on this with him, I just wanted to resist that rein there a bit. I'm going to bump on him there, push him forwards, put a bend in him. He's wanting to ignore me a little there. If the other horses are around us, are just distracting him a little bit. Now he's wanting to call out to him there. I'm going to bump on his nose and yield a hind quarter and make his feet move. Put him under some pressure. Good. Now he needs to understand that he's got 23 hours a day to call out and snatch at grass and be a horse. This time is my time. He needs to be respectful of that. That's better there. And woo. Woo. Good. Much better. Alright, so the way I'm going to work on turnarounds with him is pretty simple, and I learned this one off Chris Towns a while ago. I'd never seen it done before, never used it before, but it really helped me a lot with my young mare. So I'm doing it with all my young horses now, all the breakers that I get in when I first start teaching the turnaround. So I want to pick up that left rein, get a flexion, look over my left shoulder, add a little bit of right leg. I want him to rock back a little bit like he just did, but he's moving his hip. I don't want him to move his hip, I want him to move his shoulder. So I've got to wait for that, for him to rock his weight back onto that hip, engage his hind end. There, he stepped his shoulder just a little. It was just a little step across with that near side front foot. So I'll reward that. And this is the way he was a lot better the other way yesterday. This is the way he seems to have trouble with his lateral work, which is moving from right to left. I'll get that flexion, look over my left shoulder. I like that drawback. There's one that step there with that near side front. I want to reward that there. A little bit of drawback and steps across. And we'll do that again. Add some right leg. There, good. He's still sort of moving his hip. I'd rather him get under himself. He'll figure that out. There, good. Another way to work on this is to walk them forwards and pick up a rein, get a bend in them, add some leg, get them to step their shoulder across, and just work on an extra little bit at a time. But that, yeah, nice, good. That tends to keep them very forward. I think it keeps them on the forehand a little bit. That was the way I was taught years ago to do it, but I think it takes them a lot longer doing it that way to learn to really engage their hind. Yeah, nice, real good. Right, so we'll pick up a right rein, look over the right shoulder, add a little bit of left leg. He's moving his hip, moving his hip, moving his hip. There's the shoulder, good. You can sort of feel, pick up that right rein there, look over the shoulder, add a bit of leg. You can feel when they rock their weight back and load up that hind end. So it's hip, hip. Now he's looking at doing it. There, good. He just had to shift his hip a couple of times, get himself comfortable. You're going to pick up that right rein, look over the right shoulder, add left leg. There, good. He had a little bit of trouble with it that time, so I release on the first step. I'm not going to ask him for any more. I'm just at this stage, I'm just trying to get him to get the idea of that little bit of a drawback, load up that hind end, there you go, and step across in front. Nice. You got a little bit resistant on that rein there, so I'm going to hold that rein. I've released the leg, but I'm going to hold the rein until he's soft. He got resistant on that rein at the end. Release the leg, just hold onto that rein until he's soft. Good. Good, we might quit there today, I think. I reckon that's good. Good kid, well done.